You are listening to the Why Smart Women podcast, the podcast that helps smart women work out why we repeatedly make the wrong decisions and how to make better ones. From relationships, career choices, finances, to faux fur jackets and kale smoothies. Every moment of every day, we're making decisions. Let's make them good ones. I'm your host, Annie McCubbin, and as a woman of a certain age, I've made my own share of really bad decisions. Not my husband, I don't mean him, though I did go through some shockers to find him. And I wish this podcast had been around to save me from myself. This podcast will give you insights into the working of your own brain, which will blow your mind. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I'm recording, and you are listening on this day. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. Well, hello, smart women, and welcome back to the Why Smart Women podcast. Today, I am broadcasting from DY, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, and I am here in a little studio looking out on a beautiful spring day. It's nearly the end of the first month of spring, and things are really heating up here in Sydney. It's going to be delicious. And today I'm talking to David. Hello, David.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Annie. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes. Mm. Do you feel sort of prepared with a bee in your bonnet for this particular episode?
I have no bee.
What?
There is no bee in my bonnet.
I reckon you're better when you've got the bee in the bonnet and you know what it is.
Okay.
It's like, what are you complaining about today?
All right. Well, I thought we could talk about what I thought was. We could talk about when the rhythm that people operate in when they're in a relationship is different.
Like when two people have two different rhythms?
Yes.
Oh, I can see where this is headed. Yeah, okay.
Where do you think it's headed? Go on.
Well, you know, where we tell a story about one person who has a terrific rhythm, you know. They're an honorary member of the 5 a.m. club. They rise early, they brush their teeth, they get into their Lululemon, and off they go and they do a HIIT workout.
I don't wear Lululemon.
What?
I do not wear Lululemon.
Oh, right, okay. What are the other ridiculous...
I'm not going to advertise a brand on my
right.
podcast,
okay.
but I don't wear Lululemon.
Okay, but what made you think that I was speaking about you?
Can I tell you why I don't wear Lululemon?
Why don't you wear Lululemon?
Thanks for asking. Because there was all this signage outside one of their branches, their shops, and one of the things said 99% of all illnesses is caused by stress, and that is not true. Stress contributes to some things, but it is not responsible for everything. It's a ridiculous thing to say. And then they're implying that, of course, you could ameliorate this stress and never, ever have anything wrong with you by exercising.
Yeah, okay. And that's a distortion of a truth, isn't it? I mean, you know, exercising is very good for you. If there was a pill that you would take that would cure all ills and it had all the benefits of exercise, then you'd take that pill.
Yeah, it is an amazing thing.
It's the overblowing of it. It's the overpromise.
It's the overpromise. It's the simplification. You know, babies get terrible illnesses. People get terrible illnesses. It's got nothing to do with stress. So, yes, but back to exercise.
So this is a values-based decision, not to wear Lululemon because they distort
the
truth.
Yeah, it annoyed me.
Okay.
It really irritated me.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to irritate me with advertising. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I was just seeing if there was a label, if I could identify what you were actually wearing.
I'm not telling you what I'm wearing. It's not advertising it.
Okay.
To my millions of followers.
Yes.
Anyway.
There'd be a run on the share market or something like that. Everybody buy LKSD or whatever it is.
I do wear LKSD. LSKD.
Did I get that right? LSKD?
Mm.
What do those letters stand for?
I don't know.
LSKD.
Never asked. Anyway.
Lucy in the sky with a kangaroo-shaped diamond. Okay. Sorry,
right.
everybody.
So the thing is, of course, exercise has extraordinary impacts on all sorts of illnesses. It helps with your cardiovascular system. It certainly can assist in delaying or actually not developing some cancers. It helps with your mental health.
Dementia as well, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence about it.
I think you gave me the tip of the iceberg of a study the other day about high intensity exercise really reduces the likelihood that you'll get
It reduces
dementia?
it by a percentage.
A percentage.
So
90%.
It's not 90%.
Okay, sorry.
So I, as you know, my mother developed dementia late, but still, I would rather not succumb to Alzheimer's. So, and I exercise for a lot of reasons. But talking about exercise,
That's right. So that's where we kind of started with this.
which
We
is
talked
where?
about the two different rhythms, and one person gets up in the morning and they get into their no-brand exercise wear, and they go off and they do a workout, and then they have lovely social time with their friends, and we know that that's good for you.
That's really distracting me.
And
Your
then-
email.
Oh, okay. I'll turn it off.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were comparing the different rhythms and routines of people, and yes, you could have a person who gets up in the morning, exercises, socializes, does all of that, then comes home and then gets to work.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
me.
That's a bit like you. And then you do your work throughout the day, and then we'll have dinner, and then something will happen after dinner. It might be an episode of The Gifted. No, it might be an episode of The Gilded Age.
Why are you talking about the whole day? We're not talking about the whole day.
No, we are talking about the whole day,
Well,
because
go
I know
on.
what you're going to say. You're going to say, okay, the other person who doesn't bounce out of bed at Sparrow's Fart, gets started a bit more slowly during the day, hits golden hour, roughly between 4 and 5 in the afternoon, and has got plenty of energy and ideas to then work late into the night, which is what I tend to do.
Yeah.
When you go to sleep. So you return from the gym and you see me sort of, starting my day.
Yeah, but then you say things. You say things to me like, "Oh, I wish I could get up and exercise." And,
Yeah, I wish I could.
Well, that's the bit that I'm talking about, because it sort of implies that it's easy for me and difficult for you, and I don't know if that's true.
Well, hang on a second. If I say, gee, I wish I was in your rhythm, your rhythm is really terrific. I wish I could, get up in the morning, have my exercise, do my thing.
Oh, why don't you?
Why don't I? Okay. Because, well, why do you think I don't?
I'm interested in you.
No. Oh, you've definitely got an idea.
Stop,
You've got to
you
answer
don't know
that question.
what's gone in my brain.
That's right. So that's why I am asking.
Oh, I don't want to
What
answer that.
what is
I don't
going on in
know.
your brain?
I don't know.
I don't think it's very flattering. I think you come into the room and go, "Oh, you lazy loser."
I do
Yeah,
not
yeah.
walk into the room and go, "You lazy
You're lazy
loser."
loser. Yeah, I mean, that we know so many stories of men of a certain age. They start to slow down a little bit. They become completely useful and just sit on the couch all day.
Useless, not useful.
Oh, sorry, useless. Yeah, they become useless. They sit on the couch
Who
all
are
day.
these men? I don't know these men.
Oh, come on. We've had anecdotal, sharings.
No, those men.
We've told stories about people who are
No, those men were useless to start off with.
Really.
I think so.
What do you think? You think some are born useless, some have uselessness thrust upon them, and what's the other one?
Look, we know there's been this big study out in America.
Yeah.
That said that for most women, single women, that are attempting to get back into the dating game, whatever method, that mostly the men are a negative influence on their life.
Oh, what? So don't bother.
Don't bother. Oh, that's what they're sort of saying.
Oh.
That there's a lot of. Well, that's what the burned haystack. Anybody who's online dating should definitely look at the burned haystack method and go to and join them.
Is it join burnedhaystack.com?
I don't know.
What's the URL? How do people find it? I guess people could look it up.
No, that's okay. We'll put it in the show notes.
Okay. Burned Haystack. And what's the name of the lady?
Burned haystack.
Burned Haystack
method.
Yep.
And the name is Jenny. Her name is Jenny Young, and she studies the applied rhetoric of the language that men use online, and by the study of the language, she ascertains whether or not they should block and burn, or whether they should entertain the possibility that the person's okay.
Block and burn?
Yeah, just get rid of them. Don't go near them.
That's
And what apparently, according to her, and I do think it's right, you can work out if somebody is like not going to work, but you can't work out if somebody is. So it just takes out the people that are definitely a no-no, and you're still left trying to work out if the ones that you've sort of let through and entertaining the possibility of whether or not they're good is another thing entirely.
And what does Jenny Young use to evaluate whether these men are going to be a net gain or a net
Applied
loss?
rhetoric. She analyses the language.
Applied rhetoric.
So it's honestly, I won't go into it too much, but do look it up, especially if you're doing online dating. She analyses the language, and there's things that are embedded in the language that give the game away. You know, if they're over controlling, or if they consider themselves to be a prize, or whatever. Yeah, it's very very interesting. But I digress.
Is that the gentleman who says, you know, look, I should let you know that when I get into a relationship with somebody, you know, probably my greatest weakness is I care too much.
Yeah, that crap.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Note to self: don't use that ever.
Don't
again.
use that language. Or are you on the dating? Are you in the dating scene?
I care too much.
You care too much.
Like I need that complication in my life.
That's right. So anyway, back to this notion of
different rhythms.
Or different rhythms and different. I mean, yeah.
So I mean, look.
You're also really messy.
I mean,
we are. Well, we are. Look at where we're sitting.
No, do you know what?
Astonishingly messy.
Do you know what?
What?
That's your thing. I think we're both equally messy, you and I. Gee, I wish this was on video. You should have seen Annie's face change then. I think that we have sort of equal sort of sensibilities around the creation of mess. It just happens that I happen to be very good at actually still being able to operate inside mess to do the things that need to be done. Whereas if something's not right, it tends to distract you and you grind to a halt. Like a few minutes ago, you made me turn off the one of the computer screens because it was distracting you. Yeah, I wish you could see Annie's face at the moment. She's looking at me. Let me describe it. Her lips are slightly pursed. She's smiling.
I don't want to smile.
Her nose is all wrinkled. I'm in trouble. No, but I mean, I get your daily rhythms. You find it easy to wake up early and go to sleep early. And yeah, look, I don't find that easy. I want to keep going at the end of the day, so I wake up a little later. I get up a little later. I get started later. But you know, I pick up speed. And if I'm doing it in a room that's not, you know, perfectly tidy,
it's not that it's not perfectly tidy.
I focus on what needs
crash.
to be done, and it's not a car crash. It's a little bit of a car crash, I guess.
Can we go back to the bit where we're equally messy?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Thanks. That'd be great.
I'm glad because very rarely do we ever get to go to that place where we acknowledge the fact that we're equally messy.
What do I do? So, I go to the gym.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's other people out there that are listening to this that can relate to this. So I go to the gym.
Yeah.
Come home, and you know what I spend the next 2 hours
Tremendously
doing?
admirable. What?
What do I come home and I do what?
Are you saying you come and tidy up for 2 hours?
Yeah.
For 2 hours?
Put the washing on. I make the bed.
Yeah.
I clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
I unstack the dishwasher.
Yeah.
I restack it.
Yeah.
I put all the clothes that you've left in the lounge room. I come and put them away.
And at the moment, are you amassing a column of all of the work that you do, comparing it to mine?
Well, in terms of
which
tidying
is negligible.
Up. No, just in terms of tidying up.
Yeah.
Look, we're in a smaller space now, right?
Yes, we are.
And so we should see Yo-Yo's face.
Yep, she's on my side.
So
she witnesses this.
If you leave anything out.
Yes, if you leave it out.
So when you were on that call this morning, that coaching call.
Yeah.
Did you notice when you left the very messy place that we're sitting in now, which is the studio?
Yeah. When I left the studio.
That the kitchen, I'd restacked the dishwasher, that I'd restacked the stuff to go on there, that I'd cleaned up the lounge room, that I'd made the bed, that I'd put everything away.
The room was reassuringly ordered when I walked back into it. That was great. Thank you for doing that.
See, this is why women just want to live with other women. I swear to God.
Okay. So
it's like me saying.
It would seem
it's like me saying that I am equally that my capacity to get my head around tech is about the same as yours, but I just don't do as much of it. And that is not true. You are clearly, eons ahead of me when it comes to tech and understanding anything technical.
Yeah, well, that's because I've had more flying hours. You know,
Same as cleaning.
I've spent more. That's right. Now, those of you who have perhaps read Annie's books or have listened to earlier episodes of this podcast, you'll come across this thing called the availability bias. And
I'm actually going to smack you on the head with that thing that you left on the ground that you should have put away.
And its twin sister, the confirmation bias. And some might argue. In fact, I think if we look closely at the furrows on Yo-Yo's brow at the moment, she would be thinking to herself, yeah, when I'm here and Annie's not here, David does an enormous amount of stacking the dishwasher and unstacking the dishwasher and cleaning clothes and putting them out. Generally speaking, when he does that stuff, it's invisible to Annie because all she notices is when things are left out. I don't know. I'm just telling you what Yo-Yo's thinking at the moment. I'm not saying that this is the truth.
Oh, my actual God.
But that's how it works, isn't it? Isn't
No,
the purpose
no.
of the podcast being able to understand what these cognitive errors are? It's like if I empty the dishwasher, you don't notice. Isn't that true?
So every woman that's listening to this will know that you are using my own frameworks that I discovered against me.
And now you're gendering the conversation.
Well, because it's
by
gendered.
saying every woman would know what?
This is a very gendered conversation.
What?
There is a gender difference.
Availability bias and confirmation bias are available to all of us.
Okay, so let's leave the messiness aside. Let's leave that aside.
Okay.
And let's go back because that is clearly
To the exercise thing.
yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm annoying. I know for 100% I am like a really annoying Girl Scout mistress.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay. Do you know how annoying you are?
No,
though?
probably not.
No. Do you know how rigid you are in your
Probably
annoyingness?
not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good starting point.
Thanks, David. Fuck me. The thing is, I guess it comes down to, in terms of your health and wellness, I can't believe I used the word wellness, that in order to sort of get through the last, 3 decades, we need to be eating properly and exercising and et cetera, et cetera. And I think you're erratic at it.
Erratic. What? So I don't get into a rhythm.
No, I don't think you do. Do
Right.
you?
Look, I wouldn't say that I'm in a rhythm at the moment. I wouldn't say that I'm in the perfect rhythm at the moment.
Well, there's other things going on at the moment.
There are
That's
other
sort of
things.
understandable.
But, look, there have been times in my life when I've woken up with the dawn, gone for a run.
God, but it's rare.
Swam across. No, I'm saying.
Are you going to talk about Manly Dam? Because do you know how long ago that was? Lily was 4. And you were rising and swimming across Manly Dam. Lily was 4. She's 28 now.
There was a period in my life. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
do go on.
it's.
Yeah.
And
you still talk about it like it was sort of...
Oh, I don't. This is the first time I've mentioned it in 19 years. But look, if I was to say, what's a period in my life when I was actually doing what I think you want me to do? Okay, that would be it. Look, there were times when I went to, the gyms early in the morning, and I'm not doing it at the moment. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but it's not... I mean, I guess this whole thing comes down to not who's right or wrong, but what is behind drive and discipline and personality.
Okay.
And that's a much more interesting conversation.
Okay, so if we're talking about a general trend around, what did you say?
Well, I'm thinking behaviour is to
Behaviour.
do with the way you're, what do they say? We end up with a sort of a personality type, the way you're raised, the genetics that you bring with you and the culture you exist in, right?
Yeah.
So, and they're now saying that actually personality is not fixed. So something like conscientiousness, which is one of the big 5 in personality, you actually can improve on conscientiousness. That extroversion, which unfortunately, and I'm not saying there is anything wrong with introversion, because introverts are the people that actually notice what's going on, because extroverts are too busy blathering on, but it's true.
That's one definition.
Yeah, but
the DSM, extroversion, people who like blathering on.
People like to.
It's where you get your energy from. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they're now saying that things like that they would have thought were fixed. So the big 5 personality, which is openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeability, and neuroticism, that actually some of them can be, you can play around with them and increase areas that you might want to increase. Like, for instance, if you're very introverted, you can expose yourself to situations where you are more extroverted, because unfortunately there is data that suggests that if you're extroverted, there are some life outcomes which are better not having a go at introverts.
Yeah. Well, what about neuroticism? Are you saying that if someone's high in neuroticism,
you could reduce it?
You can work on it so that you are...
You can reduce neuroticism. Okay. And also...
There's something for your bucket list.
Yeah. And one of the big ones is conscientiousness, that you can actually increase your conscientiousness.
How do you define conscientiousness?
So the quality of wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. And I'll put it in a sentence. His conscientiousness is second to none, and he regularly makes follow-up calls to ensure everything is going well.
There you go. He wants to he wants to do a good job.
And also,
he wants to get a good night's sleep so that when he's working on something important, he's got all of his faculties available to him.
I guess. What is that? So, as I just said, the big 5 personality traits, one of them is consciousness, and it says that the conscientiousness trait shows how thoughtful, goal-oriented and controlled someone is. Those who are more conscientious tend to be more self-disciplined and persistent. Those who rank lower in conscientiousness tend to prefer spontaneity and procrastination. So that's the thing about, and what they're saying, I just listened to a really interesting thing on it, that conscientiousness can be improved if you find yourself sort of erratic and more spontaneous, by finding something that really matters to you and thinking, I really want to achieve that.
Yeah. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
On a scale of conscientiousness, say from 1 to 5, 5 being, really, really keen, thinking about doing a good job.
Yeah, you would be up there on 5.
Okay. Where are you?
I'm on 5. I think we're both highly conscientious.
Really? Okay. So conscientiousness isn't something that's going to influence whether you get up in the morning and go to the gym or not. If you think that I'm conscientious and I sleep late, I'm basically a night owl.
Yeah, that's right.
That's one of the other classifications.
But when you apply yourself to a job,
when I apply myself to a job,
you're incredibly conscientious.
Yeah, like if we have to be on site at 7:00 in the morning, then I'll be up at 5 and checking the equipment and making sure that it's all done.
100%.
I'll do all of that.
Yeah.
But yes, given my druthers, I'd probably rather sleep later, and then when I get to 10:30 at night, 11, and I get interested in something, then I tend to follow that interest. Now, is that a lack of conscientiousness, or am I?
No, I wasn't saying you.
Or am I being a night owl?
No, I wasn't saying you didn't have conscientiousness. I think you're very. I think you're spontaneous. I think you follow. I mean, that's part of the ADHD profile, isn't it?
Yes.
You want to find something that's interesting.
That's right. When we run out of dopamine, we go looking for something that'll trigger it.
Yeah, that's right. So no, I don't see you as having a lack of conscientiousness at all. Not at all. Do you think I've got a lack of conscientiousness? Look, you shouldn't have paused.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, look, first answer was no. But then I worry that maybe I'm approval seeking, and I should have thought about it for a second. So conscientiousness. No, look, when you are in a situation where you have the opportunity to do the right thing, then absolutely you do it, and without a lot of drama. Although that said, you will, like when I come back in, you will let me know everything that you've done.
Yeah. So
that I notice, so that I know that
it's got nothing to do with conscientiousness. I just think that women's work is undervalued.
Yep. Do you know that I actually make a point of not telling you what I've just done?
I know we've had this conversation before, or maybe you should, because I still think in terms of our application to inside the house, that you're less focused on it. I just think that's the truth. So start telling me.
But then it's a little bit like I have to report back to Annie that I'm being a a worthy contributor to the household. And
Well, maybe you should.
But
why don't you tell me?
Why do I have to report to you?
It's not about reportage.
You're starting to be a bit. What will I get a badge?
I've already
Will I get
said
a
that I'm like
dishwasher?
a scout mistress.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no surprises there.
So maybe we can have a note on the fridge, and every time I do something, I can get a star.
Yeah.
And when I get 5 stars,
Yeah.
then I get to be rewarded in some way.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
get
good.
to have an extra cornetto or something.
Oh, cornetto would be nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to this.
No, but is it right that a relationship like ours, that I should be, I mean, yes, you can have your point system with your children to keep, yes, the things that they need to do around the house top of mind, but surely not your intimate partner, not your husband or your wife. It's like if I was, could you imagine what it was like if I was scoring you on your driving?
Yeah.
You wouldn't like that.
It's a different context.
Okay. If I was scoring you on, the appropriateness of your attire when you leave the house.
Well, it's a different context. It doesn't even count. You're bringing up contexts which are irrelevant.
Okay.
We're talking about application.
Application, yeah.
We're talking here about application and dispersal of domestic tasks.
Yeah.
And a general sense of needing order or not needing order. I need order. You do not need order.
I like order.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You
No.
don't need order.
Yeah,
You can sit in this
that's
room,
right.
which has got 17 layers of clothes around the camera equipment, and you're fine.
Yeah.
That's true, isn't it?
Well, 17 layers.
Don't count the layers.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so back to this notion of
If I had all the time in the world.
No, that's not right. That is not right.
What do you mean?
No, that's not right. It is not about time. It's about definitely. You could go. I'll do this before I do this.
But
I'll do this before I go for a swim.
If you say that doesn't exist, then
What?
how do you account for the authentic thought pattern that I have in moments where I go, gee, I'm glad I've got enough time to do this properly. I'll do this tidy up in a way whereby everything is better organised than it ever was before.
Why can't you just do it on a basic level? Why does it have to be extraordinary?
Well, you see, the thing is that I do it on a basic level, and I just don't tell you about it. Yeah, good. That's great. I do it on a basic level. Who's the one that gets distracted? Annie just picked a battery up off the
You've been
table
looking for it.
and announced it. I've found that. Yeah, if I just get on with it and do it, then you don't notice.
Anyway, we're not going to get anywhere with this. Let's go back to the notion of
Unless I try and get my 5 stars so I can get my brown owl badge.
brown owl. Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten about brown owl. I don't know if everybody in other countries has the Cub and Girl Guide system, but we did. Man.
Did you have a brown owl?
Yeah, and I got a lot of badges because I'm a goody two-shoes.
Because you're high on conscientiousness.
I am. Anyway, listen.
And letting people know that you've done a good job.
Anyway, David.
Annie.
Back to this notion of, see, for me, the idea of exercising and eating properly is to do with health and then living a longer life.
And staving off dementia.
Yeah, good quality longer life.
Yeah,
and then I worry that you are erratic with your eating and your exercise and that you won't live as long.
Yeah. Well,
so
do you know what they think is much more dangerous?
Nagging people.
Yeah.
Stress.
I read somewhere the other day that 90% of all ailments are caused by stress.
No, 99.
Oh, 99%. Yeah, okay.
99% are caused by annoying people that you live with.
I mean, if only I had something to wear when I went to the gym, If I had some nice active wear to.
Oh, you could get some Lululemon. You should whip down there, right down to the mall and get some.
Yep.
Anyway, the point is having. It doesn't really matter when the routine is, right? It doesn't really matter. My routine is in the morning. You could have a routine at 6 o'clock in the evening or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I like the idea of having an exercise regime around, in the evening, in the early evening.
Yeah, but you say that, but you won't do it.
Yeah, I'll tell you why we don't do it. Because we finish dinner and you turn to me with your large eyes and you go, what do we want to watch now?
Well, it's not early evening, that's mid-evening. Early evening is 6.
Well, that's when we're having dinner, isn't it?
No, we don't eat at 6. What are we, 100?
Okay.
We eat at 7.
Okay.
Go. You exercise at 6. There you go.
Really?
Would you?
Yeah.
Would
sure.
you not go?
Every
I
day.
just need to lie down with a heat lamp on my knee.
That is so mean. It's
true,
I
though.
know what you're thinking there when you say that. That heat lamp was very soothing. Is it my fault that the only way that you could actually use the heat lamp was to lie down? No.
Oh my God. Anyway, I think
I don't reckon you'd like it if I left the house at 6 o'clock every evening.
I'd be fine.
Would you really?
If you, and this is true, and as God is my witness, may I never be hungry again.
Yeah.
As God is my witness, if you said to me at 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm going to whip down, because in our apartment, ladies, we have a gym on our floor. And you could whip down at 6 o'clock and have a swim and do some weights. I'd be fine about that. I love discipline.
That sounds like a challenge.
Why did you use that voice?
Oh, I don't know, because that's usually the voice that people say that.
I'm getting really hot in this room. Anyway, listen, I guess the thing is how much of our behaviour is determined and how much is in our control. And I think that is the most interesting question. How much of our behaviour is determined?
I think the thing that's most interesting about you going to the gym at 6 o'clock every morning is that you don't have to force yourself to do it.
Yeah, but this is back to the very nub of the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that infer that it's easy for me because there's some predetermined disciplined thing in my character, or have I applied myself? And that is very interesting, don't you think?
Okay, so let's break that down.
Okay, go on.
You'd say that it's relatively easy for you to do it now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so right now it's relatively easy to do it. And people who will be experts in how to build a new habit, they will tell you that if you do the same thing again and again and again and again, more than 29 times, is it? Or 30 times or something like that?
Will is a bad, we know that will is a bad, forcing yourself, or will is a bad, far out, will is a bad taskmaster. And the other thing is...
Who's Will?
Yeah, Will.
Whoever he is, he's a lousy taskmaster.
He's a lousy taskmaster.
Why is he a lousy taskmaster?
Well, because you run out of it.
Right,
you just run out of will. But habit is the way to do it. And do you know that every evening I lay out my clothes? Did you know I do that?
You lay out your Lululemons for the next morning?
I lay it all out.
Yeah.
So when I get up in the morning, I don't have to think. I get up and I put them on, and I put the lead on the dog because he comes with me. And I have the kettle half filled so I can have tea. So it is an easy exit.
Yeah, but
I'm not searching for things in the cupboard.
You've planned that the night before?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, so these are all good hygiene factors to build a new habit. Make it easy for you to do it.
Yeah, but then back to this notion, was it determined in my character that it would be easy for me to do that?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe it was.
What kind of emotional turmoil is created in you by the thought of not going to the gym?
Terrible.
Anymore? You hate it.
I hate it.
You really hate it. It makes you antsy.
Yeah.
And so... you actually do have an immediate visceral response to missing out on going to the gym.
I do, it's true.
And so, again, it's not willpower that gets you there. You want to be there because you've built this lovely habit, and you're probably more of a lark anyway in terms of your biorhythms, what happens with your cortisol.
Oh, actually, that could be right. So maybe... Okay, let's look at this. So maybe in the deterministic part of it, it's easier for me because I'm larkier. I'm okay to get up earlier.
A bit larkier, yeah.
I'm a bit larkier. And maybe I do have a lot of conscientiousness in my personality type. So it's important to me if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a lot of deterministic stuff, which means that it's wrong to judge somebody else who does not have that. Yeah. Stop looking. That's the worst smile you've ever given me. This was awful.
What do you mean? I'm
still sitting in this messy room.
I'm admiring you for such a cogent train of thought.
Oh, I'm great, aren't I?
So
I guess how long have we been talking?
Oh, about 36 minutes. Mm-hmm. Does this mean that you're going to be less judgy when you come back in the morning?
I'll tell you what, it would make me less judgy.
What would make you less judgy?
If you did what you said and would do some gym late in the day.
Because you're actually not being judgy. You are concerned about my well-being.
I actually am.
Okay.
I worry that your cardiovascular health will suffer. if you don't exercise. So it's more that I worry about it.
Okay.
And as you know, I am an anxious person, so I worry about you, and it's the same anxiety in a way that arises in me if I don't exercise.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that
However, you are messier than me.
That was a very compelling post-rationalisation that you just gave us there.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so here we are, ladies, discussing the things that I think affect all relationships. We do know that David is actually very good at not being gendered in most things. I know a lot of women are in relationships where the men are. There is a lot of gender stereotyping, and that can make it really difficult. And also things like one person is more ordered than another can cause ructions in a relationship unless you can find a way to talk about it. So I think it's important to sort of out these things, have a chat about it. If you do have a different rhythm, maybe look at why that is a problem, or is it really a problem, or can you find another way around the problem so that what we're not living in is a heightened, overly stressed environment, which is, as we know, it does not cause 99% of illnesses, but we don't want ongoing stress in our lives because it's not good for us. Did you want to say something, David?
Oh, and I, as you were describing that, I was thinking that probably most of those points of conflict, those points of drama in a relationship, they do tend to be the same thing that was causing trouble yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before.
What was that? Oh, you mean with us?
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, 100%. They're recurrent.
When you've got people who are operating in different rhythms, one person's a morning person, one person's an evening person, one person, is
messy,
is into a particular habit of only being able to achieve anything in a state of pristine order.
No, not pristine order. It's not true. Just a normal amount.
It was just an example, Annie. It was just a possibility. I wasn't talking about you there.
Just a normal amount.
Pretty touchy on that, aren't you?
Of not having massive disarray. So anyway, on that, smart women, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're all having a reasonably good day, even a very good day, wherever you are in the world.
That was very cautious, wasn't it? You couldn't just say, have a great day.
Okay. Well, because what if someone's having an awful time and then someone says, have a good day?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm not having a good day. And then it reminds you that you're not having a good day. So if you're not having an awesome day, that's also fine. And I hope it improves because everyone's dealing with something, right? So, that's the truth of it. So, wherever you are in the world, stay safe, stay well, keep your critical thinking hats on, and talk to you soon. See you later. Bye. Thanks for tuning into Why Smart Women with me, Annie McCubbin. I hope today's episode has ignited your curiosity and left you feeling inspired by my anti-motivational style. Join me next time as we continue to unravel the fascinating layers of our brains and develop ways to sort out the fact from the fiction and the over 6,000 thoughts we have in the course of every day. Remember, intelligence isn't enough. You can be as smart as paint, but it's not just about what you know, it's about how you think. And in all this talk of whether or not you can trust your gut, if you ever feel unsafe, whether it's in the street, at work, in a car park, in a bar, or in your own home, please respect that gut feeling. Staying safe needs to be our primary objective. We can build better lives, but we have to stay safe to do that. And don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the podcast and share it with your fellow smart women and allies. Together, we're hopefully reshaping the narrative around women and making better decisions. So until next time, stay sharp, stay savvy, and keep your critical thinking hat shiny. This is Annie McCubbin signing off from Why Smart Women. See you later. This episode was produced by Harrison Hess. It was executive produced and written by me, Annie McCubbin.